Well, just run over here and listen to Melissa speak real quick so she has no people. He said he's coming.
But I won't stop it. This is a 10 people. Oh my gosh.
This is the family unit that's supporting her.
I am the black sheep.
With his killer thing.
All right, go.
Okay. This is my introduction speech, and this is my family, the 10 members that are going to witness what I'm doing. Okay. The secret of a good life is to have the right loyalties and hold them to the right scale of values. This was written by Norman Thomas. Have you ever seen someone help an old lady cross the street, or maybe open the door for someone? Well, this is something to do with their manners and also their values. Morals and values are a big part of my life and my family. Everyone has their own moral values. I have a few of my own. They have helped me throughout my life and to make me the person that I am today. Today I will tell you a little bit about a few of my own values. I will also tell you about how child abuse disappoints me and goes against everything I have learned from my family. To start off, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm 18 years old. I'm an 18-year-old Southern girl from Mississippi. My name is Melissa Leidigh. I am currently in my second year at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. I plan on being a teacher and being able to teach children. I have always loved kids and wanted to teach them or help them in some way. I might even open my own daycare someday, and I'm a Christian. Ever since I was a little kid, my family has brought me to church and different Christian things. Going to church has taught me a lot of Christian values. God is a big part of my whole family and family friends. The main morals and values I've learned from being a Christian are the ones that came out of the 10 Commandments. My parents have also taught me some of my own values that they have learned from their parents. My dad likes to always say how things aren't kosher. In my family, it's not kosher to live together before marriage. My parents have also taught me how to hold my tongue when need be, even though it has taken me this long to figure it out. They also taught me to respect my elders. I have always loved little kids and teaching them new things, and to take good care of them. When I hear about child abuse, it just shocks me how people can treat children that way. I would like to be able to become a teacher so that maybe I can help them out and let them learn, you know, how maybe they could grow up and have their own values, because it seems to me when somebody's trying to abuse a child that they didn't have their own morals and values and they didn't learn. So maybe if I become a teacher, I can help them in my own way, even if they need help if they're being abused, or just to teach them some kind of values if they can't learn them at home, so they can become a good adult in their own life. Today I've told you about my religious beliefs and values. I've also told you some things about child abuse and my feelings on it. Everyone has their own morals and values. I have a few of my own. They have helped me throughout my life to make me the person I am today. There are some websites you can go to look at different stories. One website you can go to is forthechild.org and hear different stories that have been help children out and when they're abused. Now you will hear me give my informative speech on child abuse.
You
Go stop.
Give me a stop. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the different stories about child abuse? My mom was abused when she was very little. She learned how to forget things about what happened to her and move on with her life. She didn't remember it until one day when I was very young, she had a breakdown. At that moment, she remembered all of it. She ended up going through depression, stress, and lots of hospital visits. After a while, she was able to start coping with it and able to live on with her life. Even though she was able to go back to normal, and it still bears down on her today. All she can do is make the best of it and remember that it was in the past. She does her best to make sure our family has a good life and never has to go through what she went through. In my life, I have known at least one person per abuse category. I have seen that it's something very effective on their lives. It can also lead to something very effective in their later lives, just like my mom. Some cases show as early as the teen years, and others do not have effects until mid-adulthood or later. From what I have seen in my life, it can have very serious effects. Child abuse can greatly affect children in their adulthood. There are 4 different types of child abuse, such as physical, emotional, sexual, and neglect. Child abuse is a very serious and harmful thing. It harms the child while it's happening, and the abuse can also affect them later in their adult lives. Just in the United States, there are over 906,000 child abuse cases each year. Child abuse is usually done by someone in the child's family. There are many different types of child abuse. The main ones are physical, emotional, sexual, and neglect. When it comes to physical child abuse, a parent or abuser tries to say it's the way they discipline their child so that they can make their child act right. Physical abuse is when the parent does not just spank their child, but they actually injure their child in a harmful way. Some examples are burning the child, punching the child, stabbing, breaking bones, and etc. Some parents have even gone too far and killed their babies from shaking them too hard to make them quit crying. The signs of physical abuse are usually very easy to see. The child would have lots of bruises or many injuries. The parents or abusers will generally have anger problems or other kinds of weird issues. Emotional abuse is completely different from physical abuse. It is hard to tell when a child is being abused emotionally. Normally it's words that the parents say that hurt the child or put them down. These words can even hurt them later in life. Telling a child that they're worthless or a big mistake is considered emotional abuse. Children who are emotionally abused by their parents are mostly shy or scared all the time, as if they have no confidence in themselves. A child being emotionally abused will usually have a type of shelter or food, but the love and attention they need will not be there for them. One of the scariest types of abuse is sexual abuse. This abuse is where there are sexual actions done between the adult and child. When a child is being sexually abused, they also deal with physical and emotional abuse. The adult doing the abuse is normally someone close to the child or someone the child knows. This abuse can make a child ashamed and feel guilty, like it is their own fault when it's not. In these cases, the children normally will not go tell someone what is going on. This is because they are too scared and think that no one will believe them what's going on. These children may have problems sitting or standing and sometimes have torn or bloody stained underwear. One of the most used forms of child abuse is neglect. Neglect is when the parent caregiver does not give the child what he or she needs. This endangers the child's physical and mental well-being. When neglect happens, it is because the caregiver is under great stress, depressed, or even anxiety. Other times it's because they use lots of alcohol and drugs, which can impair the parent's judgment or ability to safely take care of the child. When a child is going through neglect, they normally have unfitting clothes or would be dressed improperly in different types of weather. Children who have to deal with the pain of abuse create antisocial and self-destructive behaviors and thoughts. This is their way of trying to deal with the abuse. They try to understand everything that's going on and happening, but are too immature to understand any of it, or all of it. To these children, they cannot understand what's going on because the person that are doing this to them is normally someone who is family or really close to them. They can't ever figure out what they did wrong. It confuses the child a lot, and they try to figure out what they're doing wrong. When the abuse becomes a type of routine, the child will then figure out ways to avoid what's happening and end up getting hurt worse. The child does not have to only avoid things or try to change things, but they also think they have to hide the secret. They do not want their family to get in trouble, or it can be because they are scared that it will get worse and stuff. When this happens, the child cannot develop real relationships with other adults and children. They cannot form healthy social relationships with others because they are too scared. Abuse can make a child lose the same curiosity. This is because the child does not want to try anything new, for they are scared that an attack of some kind will happen again. They are also scared of their parents' strict rules and do not want to get in trouble. This makes the child stop trying to adventure and try new things. child abuse affects children in their adulthood, there are 4 different types of child abuse, such as physical, emotional, sexual, and neglect. If you expect child abuse, or a child tells you they're being abused and have few things you can do to help, there are a few things you can do to help. Take the child somewhere where it's quiet and y'all can actually talk, and let the child let you know what's going on. Try not to force the child to tell you stuff, because then they might get scared, because they're already scared as it is from what's going on. And let them just explain everything to you and report what's happening, and once you get done, go to the right authorities and tell them what's going on to take care of this child. That's it.
Yay! That was all the That was great.
That was very
Good job.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. I don't know who's.
Because I used to give speeches and stuff.